Hello everyone, my name is Junie and I'm this year's Vice President. So recently I released a Q&A feedback form and really wanted to hear what you all had to say about how Akbayan's doing. And so what this video is just really the opportunity for myself as well as the rest of the 42nd cabinet to really, show all of you what we've been working on and give a little bit of a sneak peek into this next upcoming semester. So the first piece of feedback we got and question is from actually one of our modern directors, Melly. And she asked, how has your term as VP of Akbayan been so far? You guys are all great, by the way. Well, thank you, Melly. Honestly, this term as VP has had a lot of highs and some lows, but that comes with basically every term. But honestly, it has been such a blessing to be able to lead a bunch of 15 other cabinet members, and although we're young, we've had some fantastic events and a lot of people do look up to us, and I'm really blessed to have been given this opportunity. So this general member said, I think that we should give Gen members a chance to host a workshop because I would love to host a workshop. Well, if you didn't know, through our internship program, our interns do host 2 workshops in the spring semester. An internship is an opportunity for you to develop yourself as a leader, or if you did want to host workshops, host workshops with a group of other people. And even at the end of the spring semester, they host the end of the year banquet. That's all them. So if that's something that interests you, I'd really encourage you to check out internship at our info nights or at open house. But if that's not the route you'd like to take, then you can also contact any of our pillars who are the ones that are in charge of hosting most of our events throughout the school year. So we have our social chair, the academics chair, the cultural chair, and the community and political affairs chair. And I'm sure that any of them would be more than happy to collaborate with you with any workshop that you'd like to have. Okay, so this general member said, if San Jose State is known as a commuter school, I feel like you need to have some events and workshops that are during the morning and afternoon, and not always at night. People commute and have work. I think that you should be able to host things that are more accessible to many of your members. And this is something that we've been hearing a lot. And so when it came to planning this semester, it's something that we really did take into consideration. So one thing that I'm really happy and proud to say is that we're going to be having a lot more picnics, a lot more events during the afternoon time, a lot more tabling activities, just so that we can have more events that are accessible to, like you said, people that aren't able to stay on campus, until the evening time. Okay, so I have here Miss Chloe Agdipa, who is this year's treasurer, and she is from our e-board. And so this question comes from our general member, Adrian Almoranes, and he'd like to know, what was the biggest lesson that you've learned this semester as a leader of such a large organization?
I guess what I learned this semester was that because our work could get overwhelming throughout the times, that we could invest all our efforts into doing our job to assure that our events are successful. But what makes it worthwhile would be the relationship and the memories you gain with communicating with the Gen members, and also just like having fun during the events as well, just to look back in the future and reflect on all the positive impacts you had on people.
So I guess it really comes down a lot to just understanding how to balance your time.
Yeah.
Because of course, we're in college, we're college students, we want to be able to socialize, do well in school, we want to do all those things, but then, there's only so much time in a day. So we really have to understand how to utilize our time well so that we can provide great events while still being able to connect to these people, so that maybe once we're finished as leaders of this organization, they still have friends to go to, because that's what this whole organization is embracing in friendship.
So something I learned about being a leader for this position is that you can't really plan out everything or expect everything to go as you planned in the first place, especially with the media position, because you can't really plan out how you're going to go about the pictures and the videos. You kind of just have to feel it out and just adapt to whatever situation happens.
I also wanted to know, since you do a lot of art yourself, whenever you're in your free time, how much does that really influence the work that you put out for Akbayan?
Well,
Or at least where can we see it?
where can you see it? Well, I like to think that I get a lot of my inspiration for like all these like new techniques that I'm using within the flyers. Oh yeah, the flyers. I'm getting all those new techniques from my classes because I'm an art major, digital media art, and in my classes I'm seeing all these different types of artists create their art pieces, and I'm seeing some of the processes that they're going through to do it. And sometimes I may like imitate that or go about that same thing but in a different way. But just drawing inspiration from other students, other pieces of work, and like also YouTube videos. I watch a lot of art YouTube videos as well.
For sure. Because I know that you're designing the spring open house flyer, so keep a lookout for that because there's a lot of creative stuff in there, and it's all thanks to this guy. But thank you.
I feel like the biggest lesson that I've learned through my time as camp coordinator is just how to be a part of something that's like bigger than myself, you know. It's how to play an important role and care for others in such a way that I wasn't able to before, you know. And what I love about the position is that it really prioritizes not only like already established members of Akbayan, but literally anyone coming into the org. Because like to me, it doesn't matter who you are when you enter the organization. It just matters to me what you have the potential to become. And I really feel like doing the work and making sure that everyone has a home, everyone is accepted, everyone's loved, you know, and find the best possible fit for everyone to make sure that they really have their time in college like perfect for them, you know, as best as can be, so they feel happy. Like I really feel like there's no more noble way than I would choose to spend my time than to bring out that dream.
And just thinking about how large Akbayan has really grown, like last year we were over 1,000 members, and to understand that as a leader, people look up to us, and to know that even the little things that we do is able to impact just one person, you know, it makes you feel like, you know, I can do these things, you know, and then you see them grow up to really do big things, like whether it's in Akbayan or like in other campus organizations or even post-graduation, you know, it's just understanding that you play some role in their life is what makes it really worth it.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
To me, the biggest lesson I learned in being a leader this semester would have to be don't worry about the things you can't control, but instead take charge of everything that you can. Because life is filled with twists and turns, and you're never going to go where exactly you want to be. So it's up to you to make a decision on how to best get to where you want to be.
I think the biggest lesson I learned was being in charge of like 3 cores. You know, that being like SPUF, roll call, and games, and really just like letting them like take the reins in their own positions, taking like control of practices, how they want to do everything, and sort of not like be hands off, but just trust in them, you know, try to be more of someone there for them when they needed it. And I think it really showed because I gave them like the tools they needed to succeed, and they completely just like blew my mind expectations. I think that was hard because as someone that like is so passionate about this, like, you know, you want to get into it, you want to try to do as much as you can, but sometimes you need to step back and let trust in others that they're going to be able to like do what you do what they are what's the word, sort of, I'll say meant to do, you know, like
Capable of,
yes,
capable of.
letting them achieve what they're able to, you know.
Got it. And I mean, Mario, you worked super hard, like over the course of college, just to get into this position, and then to get that first place trophy at French Games. Like, how was that feeling, like back in October?
Oh, okay, so actually, like a little story. I was not in the room when they announced we were first place. So you know how like usually they go like second, and then they say third, and then they say second place, so then you can say like, oh, it's either first or third. Well, I went out to say hi to a friend that was in AKO Mega, And then I came back, and everyone was like freaking out, and I was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And like they're like, "You don't know?" And the moment I look up, it said first place San Jose State. I was like, "We're doing this. We're doing this." I was like, it was just a magical moment because didn't hit me at all. There was no like suspense, and just like and like that your first place. I was like, what? And it took me like at least 10 seconds to run up to the stage and meet like my core and my cabinet just to be like, we did this. But no, it was just like an instant moment of bliss, to be honest.
I guess the biggest lesson I learned as a cabinet member is just to try to communicate like with my cabinet a lot more. Like after last semester, I realized like I need to build a closer bond with my cabinet. So this semester, like since my biggest event, Mabuhay, is over, I realized like I want to try to support my cabinet members as much as I can, like Maylin with her rap, or just like with the PRs like having their first workshop, and like Malia having her first workshop. So I just want to try to like put out my support as much as I can, because I feel like being on cabinet has made me like a lot more selfless. And yeah.
I think one of the biggest things that I learned this semester and just this year overall being in this position is trusting in myself and trusting in my ability, and then also just knowing that I have a passion for what I want to do and for what I am doing, and my passion works well with my curiosity to learn more about our culture and about our history, and then also combining those two things with the creative aspect of my life and outputting events that are really different from past Copo chairs, and outputting events that are new and are unique and are providing Gen members with such a memorable experience, which is something that was really important to me coming into cabinet, based off the experience that I had my freshman year of having such memorable events to go to and to attend. So mixing like my passions, my curiosity and creativity to bring new things to the table for the Gen members to experience, but still learning about our roots and our culture and our history, and retaining the main principles that Akbayan is founded on.
Okay, so John, what do you think makes this year's cabinet different than previous cabinets?
So one of the main comments that we've been getting about our cabinet is that we're pretty young for our age, and so there's some pros and cons to that. Like being so young, some people think that we're most likely inexperienced compared to other cabinets. But on the other hand, our Gen members say that they love how we are so young, and like we are open and friendly to them, and just we're so welcoming and approachable to our younger audience. And I think also something that people need to take into consideration is that we were some of the few people that stepped up to the plate and took on this responsibility. So, and that takes a lot of courage. So I think they should take that into consideration.
Awesome, thank you, Gian.
Something we also want to do with the main pages, along with like consistency and making sure you all are updated through the main pages, is including more content. Because of course we have like beautiful flyers made by our beautiful and talented media officers, and like we know you all love those, but we want to add like more to it. So maybe even showing some of your faces as general members, especially pictures from our Flickr. If you didn't know about our Flickr, like there's a bunch of pictures from all of our events there, and you might find yourself they're pretty like high quality pictures, but including more general members and like pictures from our events on the main pages, so y'all have flyers to look at and other stuff too, like diversity for sure.
Yeah, like so definitely also utilizing like the Instagram story from like the start of events, during and even after the events. And something that we also have in mind is like with PCN coming around, usually we do PRing around like a 5-day countdown, but for PCN we actually want to do a PR every Super Sunday, and kind of like getting group photos, pictures of like what happening behind the scenes, but not necessarily like spoiling the content in PCN for this semester. So yeah.